Hi, I'm Pechstein with Move Into Action, and welcome back for week 3 of your Kicking Butts Boot Camp. Are you guys ready to hit this head on and overcome some obstacles? I know I am, and I go through this whole thing over and over again because it helps me stay on target. We all need that so much. So, your first segment was about prioritizing things in your life. The second segment was about determining what you need to clear out. The things that are no longer necessary, that might be weighing you down, that are taking up your time, your talents, and your energy. Things that you may need to change in your schedule in order to move toward the priorities that you've already said you wanted to set. So, hang on one second. See, when I do this, I am in my home studio. I'm going to show you something. I am trying to focus here and really concentrate on doing this. And I have this meatball that comes into my office, pushes the door open because he wants to say hi. So everybody, this is Friar Chunks. Friar Chunks, say hello. He's not enjoying this, so now he will probably hop down. Chunks? Chunks. He's not going to hop down. Okay. Anyways, we'll see if he'll be satisfied now. Okay, so I'm trying to focus and get this coaching segment done, and I got to take a detour for a furry buddy. That's my baby. Okay. Anyways, he is back out of my office, which is where he should have been. So, back on track. Let me back up a little bit. You determined your priorities, and now you know what you need to clear out of your life in order to move toward the priorities that you said you wanted to live, that you want to reach, that you want to go and you want to do, you want to become, you want to improve your life and yourself. Awesome. So now it's time for the action behind those plans, the goals and the dreams. We've got to put action behind them. So you need to create an action plan. That's what this episode is about. It's about improving your life. And in order to improve it, it's great to dream. It's great to set goals. But nothing's going to happen until we put action behind it. We can be a dreamer, but we also have to be a doer. The two have to come together. So now you know what your priorities are. You know ideally what it is that you want to live in each of the 9 life areas. Well, now we've got to put some action behind it in order to make that happen so that it becomes your reality. In my coaching, that's where the dream it, plan it, live it, master, and become it comes from. It comes from dreaming it, and then you're going to plan it, which you just did. So dream it, plan it, live it. Now you got to live it. But in order to live it, you've got to make room for it. And you have to make sure that you're using your time, your energy, and your resources for the things that you set are a priority. This has to be intentional. We must live it on purpose. As you're living it, you know what? You're going to make mistakes. Things are going to come in and they're going to get on your calendar. You didn't mean for them to. You didn't want to have this specific obligation, or maybe it's just a challenging life season. You're going to have to endure some things that maybe you weren't planning on, but here they are. And so you're going to endure them and you will overcome it. You will overcome it. As you're living it, you'll learn to master it. And that's by coming back to these resources over and over and over again. As I said, I use these all the time. This life management is not something you're going to do once and be done with it. You are going to come back to it over and over and over again. Now what I hope I can help you do is learn the skills so that you can do this continually and stay on track. So now you know what you need to eliminate. Some of those things that you circled. How can you do that? I want you to create an action plan. I want you to grab a piece of paper or use the workbook. Every successful journey begins with a map. And you're going to outline the steps you need to take. Maybe there are some obligations that you need to resign from. You've been doing them. You've been head of the kindergarten school play for 20 years. Your kids are now in college. Maybe it's time for somebody else to head that up. You volunteered for it, but you got stuck in that role. It no longer fits the season that you're in. It's time to resign. How you do that effectively is you give them a time limit. I need to move on. This no longer fits where I'm at right now in my life. I don't have the time or the energy to devote to it. So I'm giving a 30-day notice. So you need to find a replacement on this day. This will be my last time that I will be participating in this, or that I will be serving in this capacity, or that I will be involved here, because I'm going to be doing some other things. And you don't have to get specific. just leave it. Just give them that date, because that sets a deadline. If you say, I'd like to quit doing this, I think I want to do something else, sometimes you're going to get stuck in it, as you have been for a very long time, and it can never end. So it's up to you to create that cutoff point. This is when I will be unavailable. From this point forward, on April 30th, I will no longer be able to be here. On February 28th is the last time I can serve in this capacity. So you will learn to do that as you live it. You'll master it. And you know what? If you mess up, it's okay. Pick it up and start again. Do it again. Do it again. Hit your reset button. Always hit your reset button. Hope there's a reset. You can start again. And hopefully you'll take what you learned and put it into action so you won't make the same mistakes or things again. So see, it's all good. It's all good. Don't be so hard on yourself. Okay, now sometimes we're afraid to take those steps. We know we might need to eliminate some obligations. We might need to reallocate where we're spending our time and our energy and our resources, but we're afraid to talk to the person, or we're afraid, oh my gosh, they're not going to like me if I don't do that. We're just really afraid to take that step because we been in that role. We've always done this. What am I going to do now? I'm afraid. What comes next? So I'm afraid. What comes next? I had one camera quit, so I am going with the second. We're just going to keep on going. We're going to overcome this obstacle right now. Press forward, get on with it. We're going to get this finished. Okay, so you're going to have to look at, why do I want to do this? Why do I want to do it? Because what does it mean to my priorities? Why is this important to me? I need to get back to those questions. What does it mean to my life, my family, my time, my energy, and my resources? If I can spend them in that capacity that I really have prioritized, what does that mean to me? Why is it important to me? Not to anybody else, because the focus is not them, the focus is you. Why is this a priority in my life, and why do I so desperately want to live this out? Why do I want to make this happen? Who is it going to benefit? Is it going to benefit me or others? How is it going to benefit us? What difference in our lives is it going to make if I do this? And that, a lot of times, will give you the inspiration you need to take the risk that you're afraid to take, to do what it is you know you need to do, you've been called to do, or you want to do. So give your 30-day notice. Don't be afraid. If you need to reallocate where your time, energy, and resources are spent, remember, you do not have to explain it. I know I covered that in the other video. I also want you to realize that it is natural to be afraid to end some of the obligations that we have been working on, or some of the things that we've been involved in so many years. And sometimes it can be very scary to say, you know, I don't want to do this anymore, or I'm not going to participate in that. I need to kind of back up because I have different priorities in my life right now, and I really want to live those out. I want to make this happen. And it can be a scary thing because you don't know how the other person is going to take it. But don't worry about that. Put your focus on, why is it important for me? Why is it important to my family? In the season that we're in, what is it going to mean for us? This is why I want to do it. Make that your focus, and that will help you get over the fear you have of actually doing what you know you need to do. Now, your action plan, you need to make a list of the steps that you need to take. You're probably going to have to make some phone calls. You may need to take a good hard look at your calendar and say, I no longer need to do this. I no longer need to do that. Maybe it's spending less time on social media. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's just as simple as eliminating a lot of the time that you spend on unnecessary tasks. And you know, I need to spend less time here. I need to spend less time on this activity. I need to spend less time in this area of my life. If all of your time and energy is strictly on entertainment, then you might have to back up and eliminate some of the obligations or some of the ways that you're just simply spending your time, because it's not productive. It is not going to allow you to reach the goals or the priorities that you set in your life if you continue to spend your time in those ways, especially if it's wasteful, if it's non-productive, if it can be done a better way. You may just need to look online. One of your action steps might be I need to look online for a simpler way of doing things. Maybe you're spending too much time filing. You might try an online filing system such as Evernote. And, you know, if you've got too much paperwork in your life and things like that, you say it's taking up so much of my time just to get my papers organized in my life, or just to get my finances organized. You need to spend some time and make some action steps, action plan steps that you can take to help you reorganize
regroup, and move towards the priorities that you've set. It's going to be really hard to get out of debt if that is one of your priorities, if you don't even know what your bills are, if you don't know how much you owe, if they're scattered around in 500 different piles and you cannot find them. It's going to be difficult to get out of the debt that you don't even know exists because you have no clue even where it is. So those are the things that we need to do. Your action steps are going to help you get organized. And the organization is going to help you move towards the goals and the priorities that you've set. So that's what your assignment is this week, is to create some action steps based off of the things you said you need to eliminate. How are you going to eliminate some of the unproductive and unnecessary or time-consuming things, or even volunteer roles or service roles that you really don't need to be involved in at this point in your life? How can you take the steps to eliminate those things, to make room for the priorities that you said are important to you? You'll know what those steps are when you sit and think about it, because you're going to ask yourself, what step do I need to take to eliminate this, to remove it, or to do this differently? And that's going to give you your answers. And then I hope that you will take at least 3 steps before our next segment, because that's where we move beyond this life management and stress management portion, and we're going to move into the rest of it. So we're making that progression. I'm glad that you have bared with these basic videos just to get you this far and up to speed, and we're going to hit it hard in our next video segment next week. I'm Christine Pechstein. If you have any questions that are just pressing and you really need to ask me, contact me at moveintoaction.com. I have a contact me button, or hit me up at moveintoaction@gmail.com. Okay, I'll see you guys next week. Keep rolling and keep kicking your butts.